Welcome everybody to another Zoom meeting of the Healing Cooperative. The Healing Cooperative is a professional networking and spiritual support group for people who are passionate about holistic healing. And today we are very excited to have VeRAWonica as our speaker. And she is going to be presenting to us about green drinks and raw plant-based fuel. So VeRAWonica, you have the floor. Please begin your presentation.
Thank you so much, Susan. You know, it's just such a wonderful opportunity to be able to be here and to help people with their health and wellness. And I just wanted to know if John could show himself, because I would like this to be a little interactive between us, because I am going to be asking some questions. Would that be okay, John? Oh, okay, maybe he's not here.
Yes. Are you going to ask me questions, or do you want me to ask you questions?
No. I'm going to ask everybody questions, but I'd love to see your gorgeous face. It's always nice when you can see people that you're talking with. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem.
So basically, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a raw plant-based foodie. My name is VeRAWonica, and my marketing genius said, why do you not use the raw in your name? So that's how that all came about. And it was pretty clever, I think. So today I want to talk about how and why to consume a high nutrient, organic, raw, plant-based, green drink every day. So that was a very descriptive sentence, and I want to break it down for you. So first of all, I want to start at the beginning, and I want to know, does anyone know what a vegetarian does not eat? And I would love for you to jump in if you can. Susan, if you can unmute everybody, I'd love it. Or you unmute yourself. So does anyone know what a vegetarian does not eat? Anybody care to guess?
Well, I would say that a vegetarian doesn't eat meat.
Correct. What about eggs? Do you think a vegetarian eats eggs or cheese?
Some do.
Yeah. Okay. So vegetarians eat eggs and cheese. So although they may not eat meat, they will eat the byproduct of an animal. And when I say animal, I'm talking all creatures. So even honey from a bee, a vegetarian will eat. Now, a vegan will not eat any animal, and that includes chicken, pork, fish. So animals are all creatures. Nor will they eat any byproducts from an animal. So that's eggs, dairy, cheese, yogurt, honey. So the commonality of a vegetarian and a vegan is that they cook their food. And that is the number one difference from what I do. I am a raw plant-based person, so I do not cook any of my food. I know you're probably going, how can you survive? Well, I've survived. And the other thing is, a raw plant-based person only eats plant foods. So no byproducts, no animals, no bread, unless it's raw. So basically, why don't I cook my food? So the reason for that is when we cook our food above 118 degrees, we kill a large portion of the nutrients. And those nutrients should be feeding and fueling our body. So back to the sentence is basically consuming high nutrient food, meaning keeping the plant food in its raw state maximizes the nutrients. And nutrients are what our bodies use to grow, to thrive, to survive, and to reproduce. If we don't have nutrients, our body's going to start failing. And the first place our body fails is the immune system. So people like Thea, who just went through COVID, the immune system is just not strong enough to fight the virus, and therefore you felt the effects of having, COVID. So the immune system is fed by nutrients, as are all of our cells, our organs, every part of our body is fed by the nutrients. So in turn, the highest amount of nutrients that go into your system ultimately benefits your body. It benefits your health, it benefits your wellness. So the next thing that I talked about in that sentence was the word organic. And basically, organic versus conventional. So conventional food is everything that is not organic, okay? So organic has no chemicals, no toxins, no hormones, no GMOs, etc., either sprayed on them, injected into them, or grown in that kind of chemical-based property, such as soil or spraying. And so that also keeps the integrity of the nutrient value of that food that you're consuming. So does anybody have a question at this point regarding organic versus conventional food? Yes, no? Okay, I'll just continue. If you do, please chime in, okay? And also I have a YouTube channel, so if you are interested and like to know a little bit more about why should I buy organic food versus conventional food, I do have a video on that, and it goes into great detail. But please just remember, every choice you make in buying organic versus conventional is a choice that you're making towards self-love, in your health and wellness, and to fuel your body with complete nutrients, void of chemicals, hormones, toxins, GMOs that all affect us in such detrimental ways, very subtle, but very detrimental ways. And it goes back to the immune system. It attacks our immune system. So, and then the last thing I talked about was a green drink. So there's a big difference between a green drink and a green juice. I'm sure you've heard both words. So a juice is basically where all the fiber has been taken out of the drink, and you're just getting the pure liquid from the plants. A green drink keeps all the fiber in there, and we know how important fiber is. It cleans our intestinal tract. It helps move along things that should be flushed out, toxins. I won't get into a lot of the details. So the fiber is very, very important for our body. So juices are great when your body is taxed, meaning it's not well. So Thea, one of the best things you could have done while you had COVID was go on a green juice cleanse. So your body would not be taxed in digesting, which takes a lot of energy. Your body would be focused on healing, and the green juice would be cleansing and flushing out all of the toxins. So that's when you use a juice. A drink is a daily maintenance thing that you should do every single day. And now that we can, I'm going to read that sentence again. So we're going to talk about having a high nutrient, which means not cooked and raw, organic, which means no toxins, plant-based, which means no animal products whatsoever, and a green drink versus a juice. So I just wanted to break that whole sentence down, which is pretty huge. And, why should we have, high nutrient, organic, plant-based? I've broken all of that down, why we should be doing that. And so now we want to go into green. Why green? Well, green is basically packed with nutrients and fiber and antioxidants and amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein, photochemicals, chlorophyll, and also medicinal properties. So that's why there's the big thing about having green plants for a green drink. So when you want to think about it, I'm just going to talk a little bit about protein. What you're really having is you're having an energy drink because it's full of nutrients and it goes directly into your body. It fuels your body. It fuels every cell. It goes through your bloodstream. And number two, the green drink, plant-based, because our body is really not physically built for animal products. And that's, if you want to watch my YouTube video on that, you can. but more importantly, there's an awful lot of chlorophyll in here, which is protein. So we've been talked about for many, many years about we have to eat our protein. Protein doesn't really work like that. It's a misdemeanor regarding how we've been taught about protein. So basically, everything is made up of amino acids, and amino acids break down in your body into building blocks to formulate protein. So all plants have all 20 amino acids that our body cannot make and needs to have. So when you think of the largest animals on the planet, they're plant eaters: a giraffe, a hippopotamus, a rhinoceros. The gorilla is one of the strongest animals on the planet, and they all eat plant food. So how do they get their protein? By chewing. So what happens is when you chew your plants, the cellulose breaks open, the amino acids break open, they go into your body and turn into protein. So we've discovered a product called a high-speed blender. I happen to use a Vitamix. So what happens is the Vitamix breaks open all the amino acids, which turns into protein in our body. And so therefore, this is not only an energy drink, it's a protein drink, and it's a high nutrient drink, and it's organic. And so it feeds our body very, very quickly and fuels our body for energy. So it's actually a replacement for caffeine. I wrote the book called Green is the New Black. You can download it from my website. It's $4.99. And I just kind of talk about how caffeine, you know, the FDA has basically said it's an addictive drug. And people have caffeine, you know, like a coffee, a caffeinated coffee, to get their energy boost. And I'm saying to everybody now, have a green drink and get an energy boost naturally. So here comes the fun part. That was all the background of it. So the fun part is, how do we build a green drink? It's pretty basic. 2/3 of your Vitamix should be green leafy vegetables. They are the powerhouse of the plant world. And dark green vegetables such as spinach or kale, chard, dandelion leaves. Please don't spray the dandelions, eat them. They're probably one of the most powerful plants on the planet. Beet greens are also packed with lots of nutrients and fiber, and as I said, amino acid. You can add celery and cucumber. I don't know about where you guys are from, but in Toronto, there was a big rage about going on a celery juice. The big joke of that was, it's not the celery juice. It was the fact that it was a raw plant-based juice that really did it. And celery, yes, does clean out your body, as do all of these other greens. So imagine your Vitamix is 3/4, green leafy vegetables, which you can just throw in there. It's not a big deal. And then you add fruit. And there's a particular kind of fruit that I would suggest you have, and that would be the dark berries. Dark berries are full of antioxidants, which attack free radicals, which attack our cells. So, you know, anti-aging. I'm 65 years old. I do a green drink a day. I have seen the signs of aging reversing. I have not been sick in over 15 years. I have not taken one pharmaceutical drug. I don't have any inflammation. I don't have any ailments, nothing. I've witnessed over time what eating raw plant-based food does to my body, and it heals it, it rejuvenates it. And as I said, my body's thriving. So when you picture a cell which is perfectly round, the free radicals take chunks out of that cell. I'm making it very simple. And the antioxidants actually eat those free radicals so that they don't attack our cells. And when you think of how those dips are in our cell, that's actually wrinkles in our face, if you really want to think about it, how powerful this is. So by having, dark berries like blueberries, acai berries, blackberries, boysenberries, these are super, super rich in these antioxidants. And my most favorite berry is a wild blueberry. We have them in Northern Ontario. I buy them and I freeze them, so I have them all season long to put into my drinks. Please try to stay away from the high sugar content fruits like mangoes and bananas. I know everybody loves them, but they're just, sugar is not your friend. Sugar causes diabetes. Sugar causes cancer. Sugar causes all kinds of negative things in our body. That's another topic. I don't want to really get into too much about sugar, but let's stay with the greens, and let's stay with our high antioxidant berries. The third thing that I love to put into my green drink is basically the spices and the herbs. And why is that? Because they are full of phytochemicals and medicinal properties. Everybody has heard how ginger and turmeric, or turmeric, however you want to say it, is very powerful. Lemon juice, you can add parsley, and those are all, you can also add all kinds of herbs into your green drink. And then I know it sounds like a lot, but I just want to break it down why you want to put this stuff into your green drink is your seeds. And these are called super seeds. I'm sure you've heard of chia seeds. I'm sure you've heard of flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds. These are all really, really super, 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 they're called superfoods, actually. They're super seeds. And what makes my green drink here today, like almost like a creamy color, is in lieu of a banana, I threw in hemp seeds, because hemp seeds are very, very creamy and they're nutty. It's almost like you're having peanut butter in your green drink. And speaking of peanut butter, the next thing you can add to your green drink are the nuts. And the nuts are really are full of protein, amino acids, and they are creamy, and it just tastes so much better. Like if you love peanut butter, just throw some peanut butter in your green drink. It just makes it so nice. I use a lot of almond butter if I want to put that in there. And then basically what I do, a lot of people don't do it, but I go into superfood powders. And I don't know if you've heard of this, but the superfood powders are the algae world, which are the, kelp and chlorella, spirulina. These are really, really, really high in the protein and antioxidants, as well as the grasses like barley, wheat, alfalfa. Those are all really high, powerful. You can get all of this stuff in powders. So let's just recap before I get into the liquid. So you just put in your Vitamix, you put in some, dark green leafy vegetables. You add some blueberries or some, acai berries, whatever you have. You put in some seeds. You can put in some pumpkin seeds or hemp seeds, throw in some peanut butter. And then you've got, if you have powders, there's so many on the market now. When I started, I dried a lot of my stuff and ground it. Now you can just go to your health food store and buy like a mix of, superfood powders, which is awesome. And the liquids that I use, you can use ordinary spring water, or I love to use coconut water, only because of the fact that it has electrolyte properties, and it has a lot of potassium, which really, really helps our bodies. So basically that's how you put the green drink together. I have lots of videos on my YouTube channel. One of the things that I do is when I go to the farmer's market, you can buy, how much time do I have, Susan?
You can go for another 10 minutes if you'd like.
Okay, I'll wind it down. So basically what I do is when I go to the farmer's market, I buy like kale and cucumber and celery and everything else. I wash it. And then what's a really great trick is you can get those plastic bags, which are BPA free, and just throw one kale in each bag for 5 days. Put a little bit of celery in each one, put a little bit of cucumber in each one, chop a little bit of turmeric or ginger, and Ziploc them, so that when you want to have your green drink, you just take that bag, empty all the greens in your green drink, add some blueberries if you have them in the freezer, add some coconut water, peanut butter, whatever you want, and you have your green drink. And, we cannot consume the amount of greens that go into this green drink. So it's a really easy, super fast way to get all your nutrients super fast, get your greens in your body. And I invite you to start taking control of your body, start taking control of your food. and and start thinking about your food as fuel for your body, like that you're fueling your body so that you can feel your personal best every single day. And, you know, when we make a meal, like when I used to cook, you'd add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of lemon juice. You know, you would try it, you would taste it. The same thing with the green drink. You know, experiment with it, whatever you like, whatever you want to drink. Because honestly, what you're doing is it's a turbo boost of a health shot, is what you're doing. It's nutrition in one glass. And it's a really fast way to heal. It's a really great way to get super fast energy. And at the end of the day, your health is your wealth. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And no one is applying for the job of you. You're the only one that can really take care of yourself. And by having like what I call the green fuel machine, you are becoming the best version of yourself as possible from the inside out. Your skin starts to glow, your nails grow beautifully, your eyesight enhances, your teeth get whiter, your hair gets thicker, your skin gets smoother. You know, you start not having any pharmaceutical drugs if you're doing that, even an aspirin or a Tylenol. You know, you start living a life where every day you jump out of bed with health and wellness and energy, and you are well. Imagine every single day being well, having energy, just being full of life. And I really attribute it to having a green drink a day. I really do. Call me crazy, but I have to tell you now, mainstream, they're selling green drinks. They're talking about green drinks. I just posted on my Instagram that there was a popular TV show called The Blacklist, and the star of the show, James Spader, was drinking a green drink. So it's becoming mainstream. When I started, everybody thought I was just from another planet. I'm not even kidding.
And do you only have one green drink per day?
You can have as many as you want. You know, I mean, my green drink and your green drink would be very different. Mine is very bitter, because when you have bitter, like the dandelions and the kale and less sweet, it activates a nerve called the vagus nerve, which activates your kidneys and your liver to start detoxifying. So I'm all about detoxifying, constantly cleansing. You know, we have so much garbage that comes into our body from our environment, pollution, you know, heavy metals, and that's just walking outside with traffic. Not to mention all the other pollutants that we put into our bodies if we don't buy organic food, if we eat conventional food. You know, they disguise our food with so much chemical. It's crazy.
And so, what's inside your green drink?
A lot of dandelion. I went for a walk early this morning into the woods, and we're in the place where I know they don't spray. And I picked quite a few dandelions. I do wash them with a little bit of apple cider vinegar and water. I have kale in my garden, so I got kale. I have parsley, I have cilantro, so I put that in there. I didn't put any fruit in there at all. I put in hemp seeds and almond butter. And then I put in my supplements, which I didn't even talk about today, but I put essential fatty acids, 3, 6, and 9. I put my vitamin E, and I also put my vitamin A, which are all oil-based. So you want to put your oil-based supplements with your green thing. And my course that I teach, I have many topics. One of them is supplementation. That's almost a month long. It's a very intense course. It's just about healing yourself. And I also talk about sleep and meditation, and it's a lot of self-love. But everything starts with the mind. So I teach about the mindset first. You have to get the right mindset, because we have to break through the old paradigms of how you used to eat with your family, social environment eating, addictive eating, emotional eating. When you go raw, you can't hide in food anymore. There's nothing and nowhere to hide. So a lot of your emotions come out, and you have to deal with all of that. You have to have a strong mental mindset in order to do that. And then we go into fueling.
What do you do when you have like a typical family dinner? What would that entail?
Well, everybody knows what I do now. So I'm going to a pool party tomorrow. So I'm probably going to be, and I'll be seeing Michelle
Oh,
and
wonderful.
hopefully if she shows up. And so I'll probably be bringing a dish for everyone, but mostly for myself. I fuel up before I go to parties. I don't really need a lot of food. I drink most of my food. And the reason for that is my body is now getting nutrients. This will last me for 4 hours as far as energy and nutrients. So my body is now climatized to get high octane fuel, and it doesn't look for other fuel to feed it. Okay, so I don't need to fill my body with fluff like, bread and butter and cheese and pizza and pasta and cake and cookies. That's all, like, for me, dead food. It has no nutritional value whatsoever. And I'll just say one more thing. Like, when you think of an apple pie, you put the seed in an apple pie and bake it. You cannot take that seed and plant it. It will never grow. But by eating a raw apple and planting that seed, there's life force in that, and it will grow. So when you think of the dead foods that you're eating, you're not fueling your body. Your body is a live, living organism. We need to fuel it with live, living food. So that's kind of the thing that happened to me. But back to your question, I just either bring my own food, or they already know, that I'm going to have something on a raw scale.
And what would that be? Like, hypothetically, if you were to serve your family something, what would you serve them? What's a typical meal?
I have to say, there's no such thing as typical meal, but I have to say anybody that comes to my house can't wait to come to my house, because I'm also a raw plant-based chef. I've got my chef certification. So I can make you anything from an apple strudel to chocolate. I can make anything in a raw state. It's amazing. I can make burgers. I can make lasagna. I can make anything. I can make you know how fried onions? Well, I can make something like that, but they're not quite fried because I put them in a dehydrator. I can make cookies. I can do anything. So a meal would be an assortment of various raw foods and fuels. Like I said, it could be anything. It's amazing what you can make from nuts and seeds. It is absolutely unbelievable. You can go to my Instagram account. I have a lot of pictures of foods on there, fuels on there that I've made over the years. Now I'm more into coaching people into health and wellness, getting them from ground zero mentally to, fueling their body. I'm not suggesting you have to do what I do. All I'm saying is get one of these into your body a day, and you will not believe the difference. You will not believe the difference.
VeRAWonica,
thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you got something out of this.
Absolutely. And I'm excited to make a green drink. Yeah. I'm excited to make a green drink. I think it sounds wonderful. Do you absolutely need to have a Vitamix, or can you use a regular blender?
You can use the regular blender. Again, when I started, I had just a normal blender, and you start moving up in your machines, because I don't use a microwave. I don't use a toaster. I don't use the toaster oven. I don't use the oven. Like I have machines. So I just keep going up in my machines, because I know the value of what they're doing for me. And, with a juicer, just on a side note, if you were going to juice, a twin gear cold press juice or juicer is the best, rather than a high speed, because what happens is a high speed needs turboing, and it heats up. And the whole purpose of raw food is not to really heat it up past 118 degrees. So to keep the nutrient value of the food in your food.
Fantastic. VeRAWonica, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. This was such a fantastic presentation.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and you know what? If anybody would like to be in touch with VeRAWonica, either to get some more information about green drinks or to learn more about raw foods, I'm going to be posting on my Facebook page the link on how to reach VeRAWonica and all her information. So please feel free to reach out to her, so that way you can learn more and get on board with fueling your body and your mind with green. That's fantastic. So
yeah, and also, my main thing is coaching, right? Coaching people to health and wellness. That's the number one thing that I do. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of something that you could do and hopefully incorporate into your, daily regime, your self-love regime. Our theme was green today, the green
That's right.
bathroom, right?
Yeah,
Flushing
and
the toxins out with our green drink.
absolutely. That was a perfect combination of cards that we pulled for your presentation. And you really are the picture of health. You're
Thank
just glowing, and
Yeah.
you really do talk from the heart.
Thank
And
you.
you do exactly what you talk about. You take care of yourself, and it shows. And we're so grateful. And we're going to all check out your
Perfect.
Instagram page. And yeah, and we will all be in touch with you. So I'm
Thank you
going to
so
go
much.
ahead and stop the recording now. Thank you so much, Veronica.